Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl is one of my all-time favorite films, and one of the coolest locations from the film is the dock where the Interceptor is in the first Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a huge vessel area, kind of loading dock area that I'm going to be building here today, at least trying to get it. That is going to be the scale I'm going to be using. It is 4 of those 16 by 16 plates, as well as some other 10 8 by 8 plates. It is a pretty large structure. I'm going to try to incorporate it as much as I can. I'm going to be using a lot of reference images, particularly this one that you're seeing right now, as well as other things from the Pirates of the Caribbean game. I'm really going to try to make this as game accurate as possible, while also making it look Lego as well. And there's another really good shot about what I'm trying to accomplish with this build. So like I said, I played around with the scaling side and like how long I actually wanted to make this structure, and I figured it'd be easier to just build it on these 16 by 16 plates. So I started laying out a basic structure. I'm going to be using the reddish brown color for the dock color. I think it best represents that dock, particularly the one we see in the movies in terms of like the coloring of it. Also, dark tan does not really look great as a structural piece, and that's about the height I'm going for. About 2 of those bricks kind of up there. You can see some minifigures on there as well. I think it looks pretty good, and scaling wise I think it's pretty accurate. There's going to be a few small changes to the design as we go throughout, and while I want to make it semi-accurate to how we see it in the game and movie, there's going to be some creative liberties needed here. Some of these parts and types are not really made in Lego, but here's a giant wide shot after a lot of progress of me experimenting with what I wanted to do. You can see there's a ramp that goes lowering down onto the actual base terrain there. There's a better look at it. Again, there's going to be more details added like plant life and stuff in future updates and stuff, but this took a long time to construct. I also went ahead and built those 2 like concrete structures. I originally thought they were like fireplaces, but they're actually like loading, what do you call it, like cranes almost. I didn't build the cranes part yet. You're going to be seeing that later in the video. But as we do a 360 turn around here, you guys can see this is actually a very massive structure, and it took a long time to design. I also think the contrast between the brown and the dark gray and the light blue look absolutely great. Of course, there's not a lot of detail on this right now. I'm going to be adding more as we go throughout, but that is basically the base structure. You wouldn't imagine how many parts it actually takes up to build something like this just because of the actual scale. And I think having some minifigures placed like here, these custom Pirates of the Caribbean Lego minifigures look so good on this, and it really encourages me to keep making this. Because truthfully, this is one of the things in Lego I've always wanted to build. I absolutely love the Pirates of the Caribbean, particularly the Navy, and I want to give Port Royal a feel where you can actually fit the ships and they actually are to scale. So I'm really pleased with how this looks. Again, there's going to be more water surrounding this area, so I'm going to have other boats and stuff like rowboats look so good next to this and all that kind of stuff. I do want to build some more wave details as well. One of the main things that took a long time for me to build are these actual cranes. I went with reddish brown as a color, and I think these look really good. I used like a hook and kind of like lever system here with that. I don't know what it's called, but it's that circular piece that allows you to spin things in Lego. I ended up going with the stairs on the side there. I think it looked good, and the ramp on the other side, just having some contrast. And these are pretty massive structures. They do look like they can offload and onload things onto ships like cannons or heavy barrels or rowboat. And of course, that's one of the things we see Jack Sparrow spinning around in the film. But here's a look at the completed build as of right now. I'm going to be having a part 2 to this video where I'm going to be talking about more of the plant life and water stuff. It's just so much to build this time. But I did actually change the design slightly. I added a cool flag post with the Great Britain emblem. One thing you guys will notice in my mocks, I'm not really afraid to use a lot of plate because I want to be able to pose minifigures throughout the entire build, so I really use tiles very sparingly on structures that are meant to look smooth off. But these kind of ramps and stuff, there's so much availability to put figures and things on this thing, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing in the next update, where I add tons of details to this actual build. But yeah, I really like how this looks. There are some slight weight issues going on with the cranes right now. I'm going to probably put a rope or something in between there. But again, guys, I absolutely love the scale of this dock. It is really large, and I'm really happy it doesn't look too small or it's just a little bit too big. I just think it's the perfect size for what I'm going for. Again, here's the Interceptor docked right up next to it. You can see the crane works absolutely perfectly and looks actually so accurate to the film. And accuracy to the film is what this mock series is going to be all about. If you guys want to see more Port Royal and Pirates of the Caribbean Lego mocks, please check out my latest Pirates of the Caribbean video called Hangman's Bay. It's the first site we see at Port Royal while Jack passes this area. Again, we're going to be working on the dock again. next week. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I have so much planned for it and so many more builds to come in the future, like the fort, the town, tons of other things from Port Royal. We're going to be improving upon some of the builds, the jail cell, so much fun stuff. Stay tuned for it. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day, and I will see you guys on the next one.